Hey guys, this is Tad, your homestead provider. Well, here's our new project. We are fixing to make a portable brood house for our chicks right here using this old wagon chassis. So in the other video I worked on the wagon chassis, got it good and going. I decided to go with this one out of the two. This was my favorite for the brood house for the chickens, because the way it's set up compared to the other one is going to work out a little bit better. So this is going to be a multi-day project. I am not a carpenter. It takes me a little while longer, so we'll make it work, but hang out with us as we start working on this. Alrighty, now I hope to get these 4x6s at least tacked to this this chassis here today. That probably be all I'll get to do. Sun's going down, so we'll be running out of light here shortly. But what I'm going to do is drill a hole through the frame right here in this section, and drill a hole through this 4x6 right here, and we will do it on each four sides right there. That'll hold this to the frame. That way it'll be good and secure. Shouldn't move a whole lot. I'm not necessarily going to show you how to do that. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Drill a hole, and run a bolt through it. That's all there is to that. So I'm going to get done with this. This might be all I get to do today, but like I said, this will be a multi-day project. So keep on watching. Alrighty, now guys, what we got going on here? I got all the boards laid out, kind of how I want them. Fixing to start screwing them. Essentially what we're making right here is a hay wagon. All right, so this right here is going to be the base of the hay wagon. I wanted to do it like this. That way, if I ever needed a wagon for something, I could take that Mini-Brooder off and just set it off somewhere, kind of out in the field or wherever I need to. That way, I can use this for something else if need be. So I've got these laid out here. There's none of them screwed in. We're fixing to go to screwing them down and just continue with this project. So I ended up getting the beams bolted down a little bit. I got off, remember me saying I'm not a carpenter, I got off probably a good 3 or 4 inches on one side compared to the other. So it is off a little bit, but you know, it's no big deal. So we're fixing to go to screwing these down, and then we'll continue with the project. Alrighty, now guys, I got all them screwed down, looking good so far. Now what I'm going to do is put a 1x4 on the top and bottom, both sides of this. That'll keep these boards from warping so bad, and hopefully make it last a little longer. So let's do it. Alrighty now guys, we got that done. Got all these tacked down, got all of our 1-bys secured on there. That way, hopefully this thing will last a pretty good while. Now what we're fixing to start working on is Joel Salatin's version of a Mini-Brooder to set on top of this thing. So I'll put the link down in the description for this this book right here, but it has numerous designs for the farm, chickens, cows, pigs, a little bit of everything in here. So I highly recommend this book if you're halfway interested in doing any of this that we're doing. We're fixing to work on an 8x10. He calls it a Mini-Brooder. An 8x10 will hold 300 chicks for a couple of weeks. The original plan in this calls for an 8x8, which will hold 250. But I decided just to put one on here, so I was going to make it a little bit longer, and it allows for it in this book. Talks about the plan. The plans are in here. It talks about how to do it and everything. But again, I highly recommend this book if you're thinking about doing this. So let's get to working on this. Alrighty, now guys, what I've did here, I've cut the two sides to exactly 10 foot in length, and I've cut the inner sides to 93 inches. So just shy of 8 foot for the insides of this floor of this Mini-Brooder here. And we're going to start putting this floor together for this brooder, and I'm going to show you doing it the way I did it. I've marked 16 inches. Every 16 inches I've got a mark down through here, and on the end it's a little bit tighter than 16, but that's about how far you want it from for the flooring on this section here. It'll be good and sturdy. So we're fixing to go to putting these joists through here, and I'll come back to you when I get done. Alright, we got all them boards put in and everything secured, screwed down. And now what we're fixing to start doing is putting this flooring down. Now, what I've used right here is this Advantech from Lowe's. It's supposed to be moisture resistant, pretty good for a long time. So this is going to be where the chicks are, so there obviously will be some moisture. So I went ahead and paid a little extra money to get this this Advantech subfloor to use. But we're fixing to screw this down right here, and then we'll continue on. Alrighty, now I couldn't find any 2x2s that were 10 foot long. So what I did was got a 10 foot long 2x4, sorry, and ripped it with my table saw. That way it'll be 10 foot long, because I've changed the plans up a little bit from what Joel Salatin has in his book. I wanted both sides on the ends to open up, and it'd be 10 foot wide and or 10 foot long and 8 foot wide. So in order to do that, the frame of it and the windows are going to have to go on each side, and the opening section is going to be on both ends. That made the most sense to me for putting it up here on this hay wagon. So what I did is I've ripped this board, and we're fixing to start making the sides of this this brooder. So let's get to it. Alrighty, now what we're going to do next is cut 2 of the sides right here. It's going to be the side portion of this this wall. So what we did was cut this one 21 inches long, all right, and then made a mark at 21 1/4, which would be that end right there. At 21 1/4 is where your 60-degree angles start, and what we did was put our 60-degree angle on our miter saw and sawed it off. So that would cover this part of the side. Alrighty, now we got them cut. Now what I'm going to do is screw these down right here. I'm going to use some 3-inch screws, and I'm taking my speed square and making every effort to be sure this is right at 90 degrees. So there's that. And what we're going to do is screw this in right here. Still holding you 90. Looks good right there. There's that one. Let's do this one. One more. Still holding 90, looking good. I'm gonna go do this one right down here. Alrighty, now what I got going on. So I had to figure out the pitch of the roof, because mine is 2 foot wider than Joel Salatin's he's got going in this book here. So if you decide to do this like me, from measuring from the bottom, this needs to be right at 70 1/4 from the bottom end right there to the bottom end up top. And then of course your 60-degree angles, that way it'll pitch right. But that's what I got right there. I've got it screwed together. It's looking good. So this thing is gonna be quite a bit bigger than I realized, but it'll last a long time. Get 300 chickens in it if we need to. But if you're measuring from the eave to halfway point, you're right at 60 1/2 on this. That's how tall you should be from top to bottom, 60 1/2. So that'll kind of give you an idea of how to do this for a 10 foot wide 8 by 10. That'll give you an idea. So now what we're fixing to do is start putting some braces through here to help brace it up real good, and we'll frame out the window right here in this section. But we'll do that and come back as we get going, show you what we got. Alrighty, now what I've got going on right here, what I did was I laid a board up here on the outside of the middle. Half of it is on the right side of the E, half of it is on the right side of this halfway mark, and then I measured to the halfway mark right here of the 2, and which was right at 26 3/8. So what I did was take and measure right here 26 3/8 and made a mark. Same thing over here. Now this measurement's going to be a little bit different because it's on the other side of the board, but this one is right at 30 right there. And then I took and measured right at 30 to the outside right here. And I cut me a couple of 2x2 bracing, all right, and then mitered the 60-degree angle right there. But what I'm gonna do is take and screw them. I'm gonna put it on the outside of my tick marks and screw them down. That'll be some good brace. Alrighty, now what have I got done so far? So I've got these screwed in here, these braces screwed in on both sides. Everything's in there good. What I did was measure a brace going across, which was 60 inches. A 60-inch wide brace right there going across from there to there. And then I come put one in the middle. This one right here was 20 and a quarter. 20 and a quarter right in the middle. Screwed them both down. Now, up top right here, it called for a 1x6. Well, I don't have any 1x6s yet, but I've got some scrap not 1x6, 2x6. I've got some scrap 2x8s that I cut, and it actually worked out a little bit better because ours is bigger than the one he talks about, one he's got plans for in his book. So this 2x8 actually worked a little bit better. What I did was come down through here measuring. It called to do 18 inches. So 18 inches, put a tick mark up there. Come over here, same thing. 18 inches right there, put a tick mark right there on that board. And then set the 2x8 up there and just just cut them angles right there. What I did was marked it, and drew an angle, and then cut it with the skill saw. It worked out pretty good so far. That's what I got going on at the moment. We are fixing to go to putting the zip system in for the sides. So the zip system is what Lowe's has in stock, or the Lowe's in Paris did anyway. Had it in stock, and it helps prevent from weathering. It has a water resistant outside layer, which is the reason we're going to put it on the outside of this Mini-Brooder. So what I'm fixing to do right here, now this is 10 foot wide, okay? My sheets are 8 foot wide. Well, that ain't gonna work. So what I'm gonna do is do a section here, a section down here. Then I'm gonna take this scrap 2x2, and I'm gonna put it on the inside of this right here, right there and right here, and I'm gonna screw it down. That will allow me to screw that zip system right here in this section too. That would cover all that up real good. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna do that, and then we'll be back here in just a second. Alrighty, now where we at, what we got? So I got the zip system put in completely on this one side right here. I did go ahead and do the hardware cloth right there for the window. Now what we're fixing to start working on is doing the two short sides. So I'm gonna start working on that, and we'll be back. Alrighty, I got them two short sides done. Now what I'm gonna do is work on the second A-frame side. of the Mini-Brooder. Whenever we get done with that, we'll put them all together. Alrighty, now we got all of our sides built. Now let's go to hanging them up. Alrighty, now as you can see, I could use an extra hand on that, so I went and got some help. My wife come out here in her pajamas, and she did not want to be on camera, so I didn't get to video all that. But as you can see, we have all 4 sides up. Now what we're fixing to do is put this zip system on the side, on both sides that's open. So I'm going to measure 25 inches. It calls for 24, but I won't mind the overhang a little bit, so I'm gonna do it 25 on each side, and then we're gonna hang them up, and then we'll keep on going. So, looks good so far. I'm gonna have to make a little bit of a correction right there. So, this sheet is exactly 4 foot wide. 24 and 24 is 4 foot. So, it will be 24 inches, not 25. We'll go with it. Alrighty, now guys, now what we're fixing to do right here, we're going to put some bracing going across right here, help sturdy it up, and that'll be where we anchor our doors to. So we're fixing to go through that. I'm going to get Hudson to help me hang them up here, and we'll be done with that. Alrighty, now we're fixing to put a board coming straight down. This is actually a 1x8 coming straight down. This is going to allow us to drill a hole in it and hang stuff like feeders, waters, you know, a heat lamp. It'll also give a little bit more stability there in the middle. So let's get it. Alrighty, now we got that done. Let's make some windows to put in this thing right here. So I'm fixing to cut me out some 2x2s for the frame, put a couple of hinges right here, and then put some of that plastic polycarbonate, you know, stuff that you put on roofs whenever you let light come through. So we're going to work on that, and I'll be back. I'll show you whenever we get it done. Alrighty, now that's got the windows done in there. Worked out pretty good. They're pretty tight, which is what I want. You know, we can put a stick in right here to prop it up whenever it gets hot, and just coat it, shut it when it gets cold. But there's that. And now let's go to making the doors. Alrighty, now I have got one of the doors, one of the sides completely done. I had to do a little bit of finagling, but I'll show you how I did that here in just a second. I'm fixing to go through the process of building the other side. We don't have this other one done yet, but the board, remember how I said that I made it 8x10 instead of 8x8? All right, well, I built the same doors that goes right up, you know, right here on the side that showed for the 8x8. So it's a little bit small. I'm going to be a little bit short for what I'm needing to completely cover this side. So what I did here, I had to do a little modifying. What I did here was bring down 2x10 and put it right here. That is what I'm going to screw the door to. It's good and sturdy, it's good and stout. That will definitely hold a door. And I had to bring it down from the top, what would be a 8x8 where that would hang, and I had to modify it and bring a 2x10 down right here. That way there wouldn't be a gap. So my door is going to be 4 foot wide, which is what the zip system, it's the board is how long it is, or how wide it is, 4 foot wide, and it's going to hang over just a touch. That way it has a little bit of a lip. Water won't get down in there. But that is what I did, modifying this to fix it. So what we're fixing to do is go and build the door, and I'm going to put the zip system cover on this right here, on the upper half of this side, just like I did on the other side. So hang out with us and we'll check it out. All right, now what it calls for is 106 wide, well, wide or long, however you want to call it, 106 wide or long zip system board for one of the doors. But I looked everywhere, they don't make a 9-foot board anymore. I guess they caught COVID, just like everything else, and it's no longer in production. But this is a standard 4x8 sheet of this zip system. So what I did on the other one, what I'm going to do on this one, I marked it at 53 inches right down the middle, and I'm going to do a straight cut right here. Then I got another sheet, I'm going to mark 53 inches, do a straight cut. Then I'll show you how I braced it up to make it sturdy so it would work. The reason they want you to do that is so it overhangs on each side to help with water, keep it from getting in the brooder and everything. But we're fixing to go to building this door right here, and I'll show you how to do it. Alrighty, so I got the doors made. Now I've got to put the plywood up here on the top portion of this door on this side. So I'm fixing to go to screwing this down. I've already cut a few. I'll just have to cut the middle piece, and that'll be done. Then we'll mount the door. So. Guys, as you can see, we got the door mounted on this side right here. I went ahead and put a couple of braces in that'll help hold it up on each side. Right there, you can see it. I screwed it into the bottom and put a hinge. That way it'll fall up and it'll just lay down in there whenever you got them down. But we got that part done. Now we got to go to the ridge cap, and that'll pretty much wind it up. Alrighty, now guys, we're back out here. I have a couple of pieces of tin that actually come off my house after a hailstorm that I'm going to use for the ridge cap. I'm going to overlap too. That way it'll kind of hang over a little bit. And I cut these 106 inches because that's how long it is from this end to that end right there with the little extra hangover. So I'm going to screw it down, and I'll show you the end product as soon as I get done. Alright, now guys, I finally got that screwed down. So what I did, well, I ended up screwing a board across the bottom there because that's a lot taller than it looks, and it's pretty steep incline. I couldn't keep from sliding down, so I ended up screwing a board there along the bottom. That'd help me screw that down. Now what I did, I didn't screw to about 1, 2, 3 ribs. Just below that third rib right there is where I started screwing on this side, because when you lift this up, it's going to slide up and down, and you don't want to get it too tight because it won't work right for you, and it's going to catch and carry on. I did the same thing on this side. You can see this was kind of an older piece and it was already bent and everything, but on this side I got it overlapping pretty good too. You want to be sure to get it past your hinges right there. That's how far you want it to come down. That way water will run right off of it and can't get in that gap right there where the hinges are. So that's what I got right there. All right, guys, that winds up this project. This is it took me a little while. Like I said, I'm not a carpenter, you know what, but I can make it happen sometimes. So this thing is called, this is Joel Salatin's version of a Mini-Brooder. Now, I'm setting it in here. This thing's not that mini. It's huge. You know what, it'll hold 300 chickens. It'll 300 chicks for, you know, for a good 2 weeks. Corners crossed, that'll last in here for a good 2 weeks. You know, if you're putting layers in here, that'll last a good while if you need them to. But that winds this project up. You know, if you like what I'm doing. If you're liking our content, definitely like this video and definitely subscribe to the channel, because you never know what's coming next. But this was pretty good, lengthy project. We got it done though. Now we're ready to put some chicks in it. So till next time, God bless.